Hello and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. In today's video we're going to be looking at a 1v1 on Avalanche between Goopy and N0by. Both very high skilled players, so let's jump right into it. And here we go. So we've got Goopy to the south and N0by to the north. Both starting in very similar positions here. Both with the rear mechs. N0by's probably going to walk forward afterwards to get this mechs, or he's going to go back to get that one. Normally on this map, the main fight is all to do with getting control of this north side here with the commander. And both teams here doing the exact same thing. Building one metal and then a wind, and then moving to the second metal. You can see Goopy's queuing up here some wind, and then moving to the factory. And N0by doing the same thing. Meanwhile, we'll see little penguin, waddle waddle. You'd be going for a radar, whereas Goopy just purely going for wind here. And not much happens during this early phase while we wait for each user to do their stuff. Goopy will definitely get the factory out first. We'll see if that plays into any difference as to who controls the middle. Goopy hanging around to build more E before he leaves. And the first unit is out. Both going bot factory here because obviously we're only on 2 mexes and bots require less metal to build. Both going for a single scout, 1 engineer, actually a res bot, an engineer, and then the pawns. Goopy wins the scout fight. We will not have enough to do with that. Meanwhile, the south, Goopy didn't go for a res bot. So we'll see. Right now, Goopy is not doing great on energy. Whereas N0by has the res bot to reclaim all the trees. Wind is also just about to drop now. So all those winds that Goopy's invested on isn't going to help too much. Also, at the same time, building the construction turret here is going to cause him to not have any energy. Meanwhile, N0by's got his base secured, doesn't have as much energy generation. Goopy using that pawn around the back to stop him getting harassed. And Goopy now only starting to leave the base. Here we go, N0by sending a good group of ticks to the bottom here. See if he actually manages to get anything from it. 1 LLT covers quite a large amount of range, but not this back mex, which he's moving to build now. Whole bottom of the map is currently uncontested. If this engineer goes out on its own, it's probably going to get killed. Goopy the first to make steps towards the middle. And Goopy sending the pawns down the bottom to escort that engineer. So that's good. Who should be able to expand. N0by now switching out and going to pawns as well. He's got an idle engineer at the back here, which he's not paying attention to. Also isn't building any more energy gen because he's got that reclaim, but he is now stalling energy. Whereas Goopy is perfectly fine on energy right now. See, as mentioned before, the users are pushing to the middle with their comms and letting the units control the south side. Goopy had pawn in the back area, but N0by's comms going to defend that. And at the meantime, we've got a fight down at the bottom here. Goopy has less pawns there. Did have less pawns. Now it's an even fight. Good even trade there again. Well played from both sides there, but Goopy's now bringing in more reinforcements at the same time, so does N0by. Same time right now, I believe Goopy is probably winning in terms of the eco. But he might be about to lose. No, that one pawn manages to do quite well to hold off. Here we go. Another fight at the bottom here, maybe. Using the ticks to soak up some of the damage. Goopy definitely has the number advantage here as they go for the res bots. Although, that was a very unfortunate trade. Going to get an engineer here as well. That is definitely not a good trade. Goopy losing a res bot, an engineer, and probably equal amount of pawns. Meanwhile, we quickly have a look at the stats quickly. You can see Goopy's killed twice the amount of units as N0by. We have a metal produced of over almost 1,000 difference between the two. Energy is very similar though, with all that resbot usage by N0by. If we quickly check the maxes for this next fight, we've got 13 for Goopy. No, that's not. I selected all of them on the map. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 for N0by. Goopy bringing his commander down here. Now he's secured the middle. Using some resbots here to get control. At the same time, Goopy had one pawn around the back there, causing some hassle. Desperately trying to protect that engineer, which he manages to do. Goopy in a very, very strong position here. However, N0by has switched out to maces, which will quite easily push down these laser towers. Goopy doesn't really have a way of stopping that, but there is a lot of metal down the bottom here. Whether he decides to reclaim that or to resurrect them, which it looks like he's planning on resurrecting them. Goopy does have a substantial metal lead, but he is struggling with energy right now because of all the resurrection he's doing. Which also means his LLTs won't actually fire. It looks like he's going to be using his commander to push up, maybe heal the maces as they push forward. You see those LLTs just get completely destroyed. He's going to try and surround them with the Goopy is. It doesn't work. He can't get close enough in time. We watch those LLTs just fall. And a D-gun goes out, gets one pawn. Resbot's coming in. They ain't going to do nothing. Someone killed a penguin. The blood splatters all over the floor. Okay. So, there we go. Goopy has lost control of the middle. He still controls the north and the south. His commander is very far forward here. Closer to N0by's base than he is his own. His own mace getting focused down by N0by's, whilst N0by's one hits the Goopy's one hits the commander. Goopy's still struggling with energy here, about to walk right into Goopy's base. This is not looking good for Goopy. Desperately needs to get some units out. N0by now building an LLT right outside of Goopy's base. There's a very interesting split here. Goopy holds the top part and the bottom part, but N0by right outside his base. All the units sacrificed here to get rid of the maces. N0by down to only 4. Goopy now has equal numbers of maces. But here comes a bunch of pawns to even that out. Beamer being built. Meanwhile, these units at the bottom are still getting rezzed. That's good because Goopy needs units right now. N0by has no energy to D-gun. N0by's calm half health. That beamer is not going to get built. Is the factory going to get degunned here? Yes, factory is gone. Goopy in a tough spot here, losing his starting base. Already building a base over here, though. Well, the time of switching out there is definitely caused Goopy to lose that side of his base at least. We'll see what happens now. Very interesting. Goopy holds the top corner still, uncontested. But there's only 2 mexes up there and a Geo, which isn't that important. This is a lot of reclaim here. N0by switching out, building a different factory over here as well. Goopy just with pawns there. He's not really going to be able to hold that. Is the engineer dead? No, the engineer's still alive, but not for long. Goopy just getting in the middle with all his units to try and cause some friendly fire here. He's pulling back now. Meanwhile, he's clearing up the top side here. But at the same time, Goopy's just walking in a bunch of maces right into N0by's base. So it looks like they may end up just trading bases, which will be interesting to see. And yep, that force push through. Got the engineer that was resurrected. Over here we've got the eco of N0by being hit now. N0by has currently no energy at all. Goopy having to build more eco on this side. Building some windmills, also getting the tree claim there. How much is he going to lose against these pawns? It's 1 mace, 2 mace down. Going to lose the red spots as well. At the same time, because Goopy has no energy, these LLTs are doing nothing. Just able to walk right into his base. There's the wind gone. And finally dead. Meanwhile up here, slowly pushing in. Getting some damage, eco damage of his own. This game is not over yet. Goopy's probably got enough here to take out that base, I would guess. At the same time though, N0by is still just rebuilt on this bottom side here. I don't think N0by has a way of saving this. It's a very, very, very interesting game here. He still hasn't got the factory though. N0by has some reinforcement units coming up here. The resurrection going on by Goopy is keeping him with units in the map. He's got some Rocketeers going to take out this mechs at the bottom here, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Goopy's definitely on the back foot right now. He needs to get control of this area so we can actually get more mexes. I think he's got enough there to probably push it out. Yep, the Rocco's doing their job at the bottom. And N0by not paying attention there, losing 3 pawns because he's microing elsewhere. All of the energy gone there. Meanwhile, let's quickly check N0by's got 5 solars at the other end here, so that's fine. He's built some Rocketeers down here to push, and is that a Warden? Centurion. He's only got 4 maces left. And N0by already has twice that amount, so not too good. He needs to get eco built up there as soon as he can. Rocketeers here, slowly whittling down those LLTs. Centurion's there to protect against that pawn rush. Now, Goopy does not have anywhere near enough maces here. We've got 21 total on the field 10 on that side. 8 on that side. These ones are quite heavily damaged though. Be interesting to see what our metal distribution is. 1, 2, 3. 4 metal extractors for Goopy. And only 3 for N0by. N0by's doing well to fight this off, but he's not rebuilding this eco anywhere near quick enough. He's also just let Goopy have these 2 mexes at the top. Otherwise, he'd only be on 2 mexes right now. N0by's built up quite an economy right now. There's loads of wrecks as well in his base, which he's not reclaiming. Bit of a waste, all this stuff down here. The resbot, he does have one resbot that is resurrecting everything instead, which is fair enough. Goopy getting book control back on this bottom side, grouping up a decent amount of units here. Definitely enough to rival N0by here. Neither of them have any form of repair on their maces, which is not necessarily what you normally see. But we do see some resbots here moving, so they could be heading that way. Resbot killed at the bottom here by Goopy. And now we have the big fight, mace versus mace. And Goopy's the first to lose maces. 3 down. 3 for 3. Up 4. 4 for 4. Even switch there. However, the resbots at the back here doing their work and bringing back loads left back to life. N0by might struggle here. They've switched spawns, but have been pushed back into the same corner that it was in before. Meanwhile, Goopy is definitely making the most of it, reclaiming that eco that was in the base, getting a lot of metal here. Goopy pushing back N0by even further back. We've got a harass going at the bottom here. I don't know if N0by's seen that. Doesn't look like he has. He's too busy focused up here. And Goopy's definitely going to be able to get a couple of mexes down the bottom here. He's noticed it now, but it's not going to be before he gets 2 metal extractors. And maybe some more. Yep. He won't do anything else. Nah, that'll do it. He was probably going to move them up there. And that'll be it for them. Meanwhile, in the middle, quite a big fight. N0by's units weren't moving. Some big losses on both sides there still. This one very low, but still alive somehow with 100 health. Goopy definitely producing more units right now, and the resbots are coming in from behind. And so do the pawns that loop round. Got a couple of rocketeers there. Yeah, at least 2 or 3. Resbots at the back, quite a few resbots here. We've got a total of like 8 of them, and they are gonna turn the tide in this fight, I think, as N0by is losing the reclaim field. Goopy is just able to resurrect everything that's behind him, just giving him more and more units. He's now going for the heals on his units instead. He must think he's got the critical mass that he needs, or he just doesn't want to risk losing what he's got currently. More and more damage going on. Lots of explosions. Huge reclaim field in this middle here. N0by doesn't really look like he knows what he can do at this point. Not much he can do. He's pushed right back. Almost the same thing that happened to Goopy in this position is now happening to N0by. He has nothing he can do to stop that push. He's trying his hardest to push out more and more units, but I do not think that's going to save him. Goopy just owns the entire map at this point. Such a surprising turn. N0by taking out Goopy's base early on and then not able to capitalize it. N0by now calling GG. Very good game. Goopy just managed to hold on to more eco as long as he could, and that just slowly paid off for him in the end. And yeah, that's it. Well played to both people. And that's the end for this 1v1. If you guys have got any other replays you'd like me to cast, team games or solos, feel free to send me a link to the replay from the Bars website and I'll give it a look. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you guys next time.